All right, good morning, guys. So today we are going to be making some jalapeno cheddar sourdough bread. So last night I fed some starter, 10 grams of starter with 25 grams of flour and 25 grams of water. Okay, so I'm going to use that. And to that, I'm going to add 350 grams of water. Perfect. Whoops. Let me get that kind of stirred up. Start dissolving the sourdough starter into it. All right. And to that, I'm going to add 500 grams of bread flour. Oops, let me tear my scale here. Okay. So this is the bread flour that I use. And actually, my BFF in California just sent me 20 pounds of it. So, you know your BFF gets you when she sends you flour. I love it. It's my fave. Alright, so I also use their all-purpose flour. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get this stirred up. And then once I get that stirred up and everything incorporated, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add 10 grams of salt. I always forget to plug this in. Okay, so I'm gonna let this sit here for about 5 minutes just to give the flour a chance to hydrate. And then once that's done, we'll add the salt and we'll knead it. All right, so while I'm letting my flour hydrate, I am going to take and I'm gonna add 60 grams of jalapenos. And I'm actually using cowboy candy that I canned. So I think it adds a nice, whoop, too much. Close enough, 61 grams. All right, and I'm gonna put this in this strainer because I want the juice to drain out of it. I don't want it to be too wet in my bread. All right, so I'm also going to grate, and I need 116 grams of cheddar cheese. Let me move this a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, we definitely have it now. Okay. All right, so we have this, and we're going to set this aside. And I keep my cheddar cheese, I keep my block cheese in a vacuum seal bag because I find that it stays fresher longer. I mean, you can shred the whole block at one time. I just find that the shreds just kind of squish together and this stays more intact. I love this little vacuum sealer, this handheld vacuum sealer. I got it from Amazon and it is phenomenal. It's got an attachment to do mason jars. You hear the difference? And then this just goes back in my refrigerator until I need it the next time. Alright, so let me get this cleaned up and then we'll be back. So let me move my mixer over so you guys can see it better. Okay. All right, so our dough is hydrated. We're going to turn on our mixer and we're going to add in our flour or salt. And now we're going to let this mix for probably 10 to 15 minutes until it's really smooth. It will clean the side of the bowl. And it will not be as sticky. So we're going to let this mix and I'll bring you guys back when it's ready. Okay, so our sourdough has kneaded for 10 minutes. You can see that I can touch it and nothing comes off on my hand. So we're going to let this rest for probably 30 minutes before we put in our add-ons. So once we put those in, we're going to let it knead again for probably another 5 minutes or so, and then we'll let our dough bulk ferment for about 7 to 8 hours. So I will be back when we're doing our add-ins. Okay, so we have let this rest for about 30 minutes. And now we're going to do our add-ins. So first, our jalapeños. And next, our cheese. So our bread, or dough, has, ooh, now it's kind of sticky though. All right, so it has kneaded and everything is incorporated. So now I'm going to put it into a separate bowl and we are going to let it long ferment for about 7 hours. So let me grab a bowl. All right, so I have my bowl. Let me move my mixer out of the way. Because we are done with our mixer. Okay, and here's our dough, looking lovely. Okay, so let me get all of this off. It is a sticky dough because of the add-ins were a little bit wet, but that's okay. All right. So we're just going to take our dough scraper to get it into our bowl. Now you can also, I'm going to wet my hands a little bit, just so that the dough doesn't stick to it, because I do kind of want to strain it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to put this into a ball, get kind of a little bit of a tight skin on top, and we're going to let this long ferment. So it's probably going to ferment for about 7 hours. It is not going to double in size. It's probably going to be about 50% in size. So, and then we're going to shape it, and we're going to ferment it overnight in our refrigerator. Let me add these to it also. Okay? All right, so we'll be back when it comes time to shape it. Okay, you guys. Our dough has done its long ferment for about 7 hours in our bowl. Now we are going to shape it, and then it will go into our refrigerator to bulk ferment overnight. And then I can bake it in the morning. Skin. Okay. All right. Put this aside. A little flour on it. Okay, and we're just going to roll it into our shape. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to slide it back a little bit, get a nice tight skin on it. Okay, look at how beautiful that is. Okay, so we are going to put some rice flour in our Banneton basket with the liner on it. And we're going to put our dough in upside down. Then I'm going to pinch the seams together. And this, when we take it out tomorrow, will be the bottom of our dough. Okay. All right, put a little more rice flour on top there. Okay, and let me get a cover for this. I just use disposable shower caps. All right, so this is going to go into our refrigerator to bulk ferment overnight, and then we will bake it in the morning. Okay, so our oven is preheated. We have our loaf of bread here. It has been in the oven, in the refrigerator overnight, proofing. So we're going to turn it out onto parchment paper. And we did put our Dutch oven in the oven to preheat, so it's nice and warm as well. So let me score this so that the steam can escape and we can get some good oven spring. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take our Dutch oven out and we'll put this in the oven and we'll get started in baking it. We're gonna bake it at 450 degrees for 25 minutes covered. I'm also gonna put an ice cube in between the parchment paper and the Dutch oven so that I can get some steam in the Dutch oven. And then after 25 minutes, we'll take the lid off, leave it in there, leave our bread in the oven at 450 for another 20 to 25 minutes. So we're going to put our ice cube like that. And then we'll put the lid on, trap that steam in there so we get some good oven spring, and pop this in the oven. Okay guys, so here is our beautiful loaf of jalapeno cheddar sourdough bread. I also made a loaf of roasted garlic and Parmesan bread, but I didn't videotape that. That's another video. But anyway, isn't our bread beautiful? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up, which is a like in YouTube. And if you want to get notified every time I upload a new video, go ahead and hit that bell notification. Thanks for watching guys, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!